BMNR earnings are on Friday, and in this video we will talk about what to expect, why they place them just before market open, what we can expect the stock reaction to be, and much more here in this video. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the game, I'm the Wolf of Dubai.
So welcome to a brand new vlog. If you don't know who I am or watching for the very first time, there is still some viewers that, are not subscribed or watching for the very first time. So my name is Danny and I'm looking for stocks that can go up absolutely parabolic, right? Asymmetric bets on the market. And I think that what is very important that I did this many times before BMNR as well, right? So I started to invest in Tesla when it was a $23 company. Then it went down to around 11. I kept on averaging down, and then I just make sure to hold and keep on spreading the message here on YouTube. My subscribers bought houses or even apartments, and I never advertise any other product than my own trading group, right? And the unique thing about our trading group is that we use a software that we created by our own that costs me over $1 million to produce, and this is the AutoPilot that looks like that, and we are trading all done for you. You just have to switch it on. We send you the buying and selling trades into your portfolio all automatically. So if you want to be part of it and you have $10,000 to start, then make sure to schedule a call before raising our joining fee. Okay, so make sure that we are on the same page. Okay, just yesterday, out of nowhere, Bitmine came out and said like, hey, we will have earnings on Friday. And let's dive into the PR message that they actually came out with. So when we scroll down the page of Bitmine, you see that they are actually posted the following. Okay, they posted here that Bitmine will release financial results for fiscal fourth quarter and year end August 31, 2025 on Friday, November 21, 2025, before the open of US markets. Okay, so when we go into the press release, they are actually saying the following. Okay, so they announced that they will do the full year and fourth quarter earnings results, right? And then they say like, hey, the company recently released a corporate presentation. That's actually the one that they are using for the chairman's message, so nothing new here. What was quite new was that here towards the last three X accounts, you can see that Bitmine, it's the main Twitter account. Then you have Fundstrat account, which is Tom Lee's account, and then you have also BMNR intern. Okay, if you go there, the funny thing is that they really have a intern BMNR account that is 991 followers, and they are sharing like this kind of things. It's not very active, but it's quite funny that they have that as one of their official social media accounts. But what you don't see is an earnings call, okay? And the question is what they really will tell us, okay? Option number one is that they actually will just say, hey, we just had this much in Ethereum, right? And we started our process of being a new company, and that's pretty much it. Okay, that's scenario number one. The scenario number two is that they actually tell us a little bit of the future, but not that much in the first place, right? They would say, hey, we are back on track. We are doing this. We have so much in holdings for Ethereum, and we just keep on doing that, okay? And the third scenario is that they go full blown out, which was obviously my personal favorite, but I feel always with earnings, your expectation should be low, and then let's just be surprised, okay? But the third scenario would be actually that they come out and say like, okay, guys, first of all, we are doing fantastic. Even though our stock is going down, like we don't care, like we just, continue our alchemy of 5%. This is our plan for the staking, okay? Maybe already they announced, hey, we start staking, we will make $400 million, and with that, we either give a full dividend or we buying more Ethereum. Okay, so that would be the staking scenario. Then they would come out and say like, okay, you know what? We also have two more moonshot planned. Okay, one is already done. This is the moonshot, and the second one we will release, let's say, in a week or in a month's time. Okay, then actually they can come out and say, okay, what is the other future things they want to present to us over the next couple of weeks? As you know, the Tom Lee's vision for BMNR is to be like a huge financial infrastructure company towards Wall Street, okay? Because they think that tokenization is the future of Wall Street and that everything will be tokenized using Ethereum blockchain, okay? It's the one that is the most spread out, it was never down, it is the most secure, it's the most like kind of proven, the most biggest developer community, right? And all of that is quite interesting, but they could come out and say like, with the staking, we also allow, for example, to provide liquidity for the option market for Ethereum, okay? That would be another revenue stream, right? Things like that would be quite interesting. Maybe they provide Ethereum liquidity for banks or some other blockchain infrastructure product or service to banks or Wall Street. That would be quite interesting to see, okay, how far they can show us the future of Bitmine, okay? And now let's talk about the timing of the earnings, okay? First of all, it could be total random, okay? They can say, okay, we have to make the earnings sometime, right? So we just do it there. Or they thought, okay, we are now, if you're looking into the Bitmine chart, we are now into a very interesting scenario. Let's dive in. So you see actually the chart is exactly at the point where it would bounce back, okay? You can see here the level 30 is very important. Moreover, you see the big red line. This actually goes very, very, very far. I made this line, couple of weeks and months ago, where you actually see that this line is since July, okay? It's a trend line that it was respected for a very long time. Then we broke this line somewhere here about like when we crossed on the beginning of October, but then we kind of tested it again now. So 30 level plus the level of the long trend line that we have since July, the breakout, so to say. So wouldn't it be just perfect to drop fantastic news right now just to ensure the stock doesn't break to lower levels? Maybe if you are a smart financial engineer, which I think the capabilities at Tom Lee and his team is there, they actually would use that situation to exactly do that, okay? Also remember that they're holding $600 million in cash. They didn't use much to buy Ethereum as of last week, so they expect it to go lower, and maybe they are saying, this is what he says in the interview. I made one of these videos here on this channel, so you should watch it today as well, where I talk about the bottoming and Tom Lee just confirming that he thinks this week will be bottoming. So everything makes some sense if you would love to engineer this move as well, okay? And one more thing, why they schedule it for before the market open, okay? I think there's two scenarios or two thoughts, okay? First, Tom Lee wants to be like a financial powerhouse for this new revolution of blockchain, okay, with Bitmine. He wants to create like a blockchain infrastructure financial company, okay? That's number one. When does banks, big banks, are actually releasing their earnings? Yes, before the market opens. So he maybe shows us with this move that he wants to be in this realm, okay, of big banks, okay, in the financial sector. Another thought is actually if he has something quite big to announce, then he wants to give it before the market opens. So actually the buyers have the whole day time to purchase the stock. The news can spread much better than after the market, specifically because BMNR is still like a microscopic company compared to big tech companies, okay? So very, very interesting. We are super excited for Friday. I expect my full review on Saturday, the first video that you will see, and looking forward that you are coming back here to all my main channels. Check out xanddaytrading.com, and I see you tomorrow, because the grass is greener always on the other side.